Good evening. How are you? Congratulations on making it through another week of life. Making it through Mercury Retrograde, which finished on Sunday. Thank the gods. It's been full on, and yet I'm still having some weird little technical glitches going on. Our internet here, I'm North Brisbane and it keeps dropping out a little bit. I'm a bit of a hot mess today. Been running around, a couple of minutes late, but here now. Looking forward to chatting with you all tonight. Oh look, even my speaker, now I can hear myself. Okay, that should be working better. Oh, what's the camera doing? But that's okay. I'm a little close. Something's going on. Just a little bit close to you. We're going to be turning cards tonight. I've got a couple of quotes that I want to talk about. And as you know, I get the blessing of speaking to lots of clients all week, and I learn so much from you guys, and I thought I would share some of those things too, or things that maybe I've said a lot this week. So often I find sometimes there's a few people going through the same sort of same but different kind of thing, and it kind of highlights to me, makes me look at my life and the things in my world. And so I thought I would share some of those. Hello James, how you going? G'day Jen. And thank you James and Jen for joining on YouTube as well. And Lightseeker11, thank you for joining from Twitch. It's good to see people getting on board. And of course, I love all the people from Facebook as well, from all of the avenues that come in. But like I said, I'm going to be talking about some quotes tonight. So if you have a quote that inspires you, or a quote that's changed your life, or a quote that just resonates with you time and time again, please whack it in the comments. I'd love to share it with everyone, have a chat about it. We're going to talk about coming out of Mercury Retrograde. So even though we can exhale a little bit now, we're still kind of just going out that sort of fade of energy, maybe even the shadow there. So still finding that it's slowly dropping past. But you may also see that, I've noticed in myself, especially, quite physically exhausted, like the body's tired. But I think too, during the last sort of 4 weeks, we've had a lot going on. We looked at balance in our lives, we looked at changing it, then we looked at implementing those changes, and that's exhausting. It's exhausting mentally and physically, but we've all been like that for a little while now. Hello Sharon, how you going? And you know me in words, I love quotes. And they totally inspire me. And I've made big changes in my life due to a quote, quotes that I've read or words that I've come across. Hey, Tamika, hey, like, oh, I love that you're all more organized than me this tonight. I know I was a few minutes late. Like I said, a few technical difficulties, but here now. So quotes. I'm going to give you a minute to start thinking about that, and maybe a quote that you'd like to add in the comments and share. And in the meantime, I have a couple to share with you. And like I said, things that have kind of cropped up this week along the way. I put some notes in my phone, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So, shall we start with quotes? And I've spoken about this briefly before, but I'm seeing a lot of people at the moment struggling with guilt for choosing themselves, or guilt about things that they may have said or done. And we all suffer from guilt. That I think it's a hard thing to control. I know myself, I suffer from it a lot, and I came across an interesting article a few months ago, whatever, and it's lingered with me, and when things like that happen, I tend to take note of it and share it with other people, because I think that's the best thing we can do, is share our inspirations and our knowledge. Share less gossip and more inspiration. So it was an article about guilt, and if I can remember where I read it, I will put that link up for people to click on it and have a look. But the main part of the article was, and this is what sort of made me, kind of light bulb moment, have an Oprah moment, was guilt is only when we break our own rules. Oh, what? Get out. It took me for a second. I had to read it twice, and I thought about it, and I'm like, that's true. That's true. Quite often, this guilt that we're feeling is because we set these standards or these rules that if we break them, we're a terrible person, or we're letting everybody down, or we're letting ourselves down, or whatever it is that's making you feel guilt. And when I looked at some of the things I felt guilty for in my life, I realized I was the one with the measuring stick. I was the one that was putting that guilt on myself because I felt like I was breaking my own rules. And it just makes sense to me. Like I just went, how true. I feel guilty about this. Well, that's because, hang on a second. So quite often now when I do start to feel guilty about something, hang on, stop. If I break my own rules, can't I make my own rules? And that was something interesting that I had to think about. So maybe if you are suffering with guilt at the moment, where's the guilt coming from? What rule is it that your rule that you've broken, in you that's made you feel guilty? Hey Dee, how you going? Hey Zoe. Oh, Zoe, I just want to be where you are. Like I said the other week, somebody get Elon Musk on the phone. We need to have a chat. Now, I'm not highly intelligent, but I figure there has got to be a quicker way to get us from here to there, to get us to our families and our friends and where our hearts are quicker. It was like our flight over to the UK was like 34 hours, something ridiculous, a very, very long time. And I was like, man, there's got to be a quicker way. There's got to be a quicker way. And I reckon Elon could come up with it. And a cheaper way too, because it's very, very expensive for us to be able to cross the oceans. But yeah, Zoe, would love to be where you are right now. And I reckon Dee would come along with me too. So like I said, if you've got quotes that you love, words of inspiration, maybe you've learned a little something this week, maybe you've read something interesting, please share with us because I'm gone or you're going. Or is that your quote, Dee? I'm gone. But yes, hang on. Is it warm tonight or is it just my age? It's just my age, right? Hang on, let me just turn the fan on down here. And you know what else we need? I need to be able to hear you. That would be good too if people... Teleportation! Beat me up, Scotty. Not that he ever said that, but wouldn't that be great? It just needs to be quicker and cheaper. Surely we can do that. We can come up with all this other stuff. Why we get to the moon and Mars and all that sort of jazz? Why can't we just get from this side of the planet to the other? And then realizing that even though Australia is one of the most amazing countries and I do love it here, that we're really far away from everything. I didn't realize that as much. So a bit as always envious, but one day, you never know. Things will change. And that actually brings me to one of my quotes that I was writing down earlier of ones that have always resonated with me. So let me just bring that up. Are we ready for some words tonight? Are we ready for some quotes? Hey? I want to do some deep thought. Not really. So one of them was, and I see this a lot, not just in my clients, but in myself. This happens usually actually every time in my world because I'm incredibly stubborn, I'm incredibly loyal, and so this quote made me really stop. Change before you have to. It's like it's the first time I've ever heard it. Even though you've heard me say many, many times how hard the universe got to kick your ass to get you to shift. Okay, I'm sick of getting my ass kicked. However, I still keep lining up for it because I seem to have to get to that breaking point before I change something. And if I don't, the universe does. So for you right now in your world and what you're thinking about and what you're looking at, is it getting to that point where it's like either change the way that you want to in the time that you can, maybe getting that plan, or are you going to wait it out and the universe is going to force you to change? It's going to make it bad enough that you have to change. Maybe it's a job and you're feeling uncomfortable and you're not enjoying it. Okay, but you're tired and you're stressed and maybe you suffer from depression and anxiety, and I say suffer because that's what we do. We suffer with it. And we're stuck, and then it's like, you know what, I'm trying to change, and then you might want to punch me in the face because I know people that are out there busting their ass trying to change their job, applying for positions, doing that, and it's not coming in. So do I have a magical answer for that? No, I don't, but often we try those few times and then we stop and we sit back because we're tired and exhausted, and we're trying to just get through the day. I'm still trying to get through Monday, and yet it's already Tuesday. So I'm a day behind. But it's that same thing where I've seen it in my life. It took a pandemic to kick my ass and change my life direction. to be able to see where I needed to go. Not that I think that I was the main event for the pandemic. Of course, that was global and much bigger than me. But, you know, I was so committed to something, and I was so committed to my life and where it was at that point. And those of you that knew Threefold, you know, and knew the space that I had there and how much I loved it and how much you all loved it, I was never going to leave that space. That was, you know, one of the loves of my life. And then unfortunately, when the pandemic came along, I was forced to step away from it and reassess. And only now am I starting to see, you know, the results from those changes. But it was hard. So when we're stuck in jobs maybe we don't love, or in situations and we're already tired and exhausted, but then the universe will always go. And I know, in my opinion, the universe will go, okay, I'm going to push you a little harder. And I'm going to push you a little harder. It does it in relationships. It does it in work. And things like that, about what can we change. We have to make change. Change is inevitable. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. And also perception. How do you see your situation? You know, if all you can see is the negative, it's a bit like that saying, and I wish I knew the correct wording for it, or I saw something not so long ago on Instagram, and I follow a lot of inspirational stuff on Instagram, and a little bit of rubbish too, because, you know, like a good steak, a little bit of fat's good. But it's about, you know, the skier doesn't look out for trees, it looks for the path. And I find myself doing that sometimes. You know, I'm like, you know what, I want to change this in my world, but what about this? What about that? All I can see is this. All I can see is that. And that's, you know, that's what you hit. You hit the obstacle because that's what you're looking at. There's another thing, sort of, I think it was on maybe TikTok or one of the socials that, you know, I'm guilty as everyone else, is scrolling through. And he said, you know, it's like saying to you right now, don't think of an elephant. And there you go. You thought about an elephant, because it doesn't hear don't. Your brain doesn't hear that. It just hears elephant, and that's what you're thinking of. So what are you focusing on? What are you looking at? But I did like that quote. It was something that resonated with me. Change before you have to. I know. Sometimes I bring some tough stuff. And it's not coming in. I know, Katie. And then you get pissed with the universe. And you know what? We're allowed to. You know, yes, there are times in life and moments in our day when we should be zen and we should be chilling, but I don't believe that we're not allowed to get pissed off with the universe. I think that's human and natural, and we're allowed to. I think we're meant to feel all emotions. I don't think we're meant to feel them for prolonged periods of time. But maybe it's about also looking at, you know, when it comes to jobs, you know, what else could we be doing? Is there something else that we need to be looking at, you know, getting out there? And Katie, you know, you can punch me in the face, because I know when we're looking for work and money is tight, there is nothing worse than someone telling you just look harder. Because it's not about looking harder. You know, we don't want to work harder. We want to work smarter. But maybe it's also saying to you that wasn't the right job, you know, and it might take 10 or 15 or whatever to be able to find it. But it's going to force us to change, and that's what happens there, you know, and we have to. It's inevitable, change, and life will go on. And we will look back, just like we're looking back now at last year, and we look back at the year before, and how did we get there, you know, out of that situation, and you know, times when we've been hurting or we've had heartbreak or loss. And then we do start to heal and move forward. We don't forget the pain. I don't think that's the case. But maybe we learn to live with it a little better. So yes, agreed with you, Katie. Yeah, change is hard, man. Charlotte, I definitely agree with you. And jobs at the moment, you know, I keep hearing them telling us that, you know, unemployment is at its lowest, but I know a lot of people trying to find work, and it just, you know, it's not there. It's not coming through. Or there's still thousands of people applying for positions. Feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Where is my quote thing? You just reminded me. Here it is. Let me get it. Hang on 1 second. Oh, me knee. This one. This is one of my favorite quotes. It was always hanging in my office. Actually, one of my beautiful clients actually embroidered this for me because I said it to her so many times. Courage. Not the absence of fear or despair, but the strength to conquer them. You're allowed to feel scared. Being scared is human. Having fear is human. You know, that's us feeling unsafe, like we need to change something. But the strength to conquer them, you know, and I've seen most of you, if not all of you, you know, from Jen and Kat and James and Zoe and Delia and Katie and Charlotte and Sharon and Tamika, all of you, everyone watching right now, I reckon has done this from time to time. You know, when you're scared and you're fearful, but you got up and you kept going anyway. Don't forget that. Okay, you got this far. And that in itself takes courage, and it's difficult and hard. So today I want to be your cheerleader. You know, I'm like, my God, keep going. Keep going. Because, well, what else are we going to do, right? Sorry, change, yes. Feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Katie, you just a little rocket. You know, I've watched you over the years, and that the challenges you faced and your faith that you keep. You know, it's a bit like love. Look, I've had plenty of relationships that haven't worked, and that's true. And I've had my heart broken a few times, and it hurts. Like I would rather break my leg than have my heart broken. You know, it's hard, but I decided that I wasn't going to lose faith in love, because love didn't hurt me. You've heard me say this before. It's a quote by that actor who does the ones, what's that movie? Give me a second, it'll come to me. And he said, love never hurt you. Rejection hurt you. Someone being deceitful hurt you. Someone being disrespectful hurt you. It wasn't love. So it can be really hard not to become cynical about love, because you feel like that's what hurt you. If it was true love or it was real love, it didn't hurt. Okay, so when we're coming out of relationships, now I'm talking differently when we're talking about grieving and losing, you know, a loved one and something like that. That's a different conversation. But I didn't want to lose faith in love and love and mankind and humans, and also to say humankind and people, and that there are still good people out there. How do I know? Because you're on here tonight listening to me and joining in and having this conversation, and you turn up every Tuesday for me. So thank you. Because even if you feel like maybe you're not turning up in your world, you are turning up in mine every Tuesday, and that changes my life. That keeps my dreams going, and I thank you very much for that. Hey, Belinda. Yes, Belinda, let me know what dates you will be here. I am a little bit booked out at the moment for this coming week, but the week after that, I do still have some spots available. So let me know when you're getting here. But this is that thing about Katie. So Katie, I love that. Feeling the fear and doing it anyway, that takes courage. Courage, man, it's hard. It's hard. What was another quote that I came across that I enjoyed? And of course, if you have any other questions, hit me up. Pop them up in the comment box, and I will see them. Forgive yourself. Someone said that to me about, what are we now, 2013? About 2013. No, we're 2022. It was said to me in 2013, and it was the first time I'd heard it, or had someone acknowledge it to me. They just stopped and they said, Raven, forgive yourself. And I tell you what brought tears to my eyes, because it was the first time I let myself do that. Let myself be human. Let myself feel. Let myself make mistakes. Are they mistakes? Are they experiences? But it was true. It was you got to forgive yourself sometimes. You're doing your best. You are getting through your day. You know, and no one is perfect, and no one's always going to get it right. And, you know, there are times when you're going to fail. There are times when you're going to succeed, but I don't think you fail if you tried. If you tried, you've already been successful. You've already done that next step, and that could be anything in your world. You know, it's really hard to step out of our comfort zones. You know, one of those dangerous things is getting comfortable, because we get comfortable. We're just making enough money, or we're just happy enough, or we're just getting through. And after we've been through a whole lot of crap, sometimes just enough feels great, you know, and then we get comfortable, and then we get a little bit stagnant, and then our energies get stagnant, and then we need to kind of go, okay, how do I move forward here? You know, what is it that I love to do? What's the next step? And that's when vision boards can be handy, and journals and all of those things, but we don't always feel like that. Like I said, if you have made it through today, and I am proud of you for doing that, because it's hard. Life is hard, and it's not fair, and things are shit sometimes, and people are shit, and situations are shit. But you keep going. So proud of you. Oh, Charlotte. Oh, love it. Not everything that weighs you down is yours to carry. Oh, love it. I hope you all got your pen and paper out tonight. If not, you can go back through the comments afterwards and maybe write some of these down, because that is, I love that. Because how much you carrying that's not yours? How much you carrying that's not in your control? You know, write a list of your problems in your world right now. How many of them out of your control? You know, how many of them can you not do anything about right now? You know, and what is that one about, you know, what people think of me is none of my business? I like that. I'm a bit crap at it because I really do worry about what people think about me, and you know, that Leo moon in me really wants to be liked, and I want to become whatever it is that you're going to like, and I want to adapt to that and be that. And that's a lesson that I need to learn in life is if I can be happy in myself and I can love myself, which is very hard to do. I'm a difficult human being. It's that though. No, I love that one, Charlotte. Yep, fear is hard, a mistake gets made. Forgive yourself. Hey, Sally. It is really hard to be optimistic. And like I said, sometimes you're allowed to get not even sometimes, you're allowed to get angry. And I think one of the things that we do to ourselves is we try and tell ourselves, no, I shouldn't let that upset me, or I shouldn't be angry about that, or I shouldn't be pissed off about that, or, you know, yeah, you're allowed to be. Okay, that's a reaction. Okay, something's going on around you that you're not comfortable in or you're not enjoying, and I don't think it's great that we always just kind of swallow that down or we just repress it. I did boxing for many years. I loved that. That was great for my mental health. Smacking the shit out of something can feel really, really good. You know, grabbing a pillow and screaming into it. You know, going for a run as fast as you can, because I think we've got to shift the energy. We've got to burn that aggressive fire that's going on from the anger or from the disappointment or from the hurt. Because if we can burn some of that energy off, then we can sort of stop and think maybe a little clearer with it. But it doesn't happen straight away. You know, I probably still want to smack the shit out of something the next day. But it is hard to stay positive, and it is hard to stay optimistic. I think sometimes too, you know, I'm someone who obviously, you know, I'm very sensitive, I guess, to things. I don't like to show it. I deal with my emotions. I am a self-soother. If you are someone that's been in an abusive relationship, or maybe you grew up in a house where maybe you weren't paid the attention, or it wasn't a home that talked about emotions, or, you know, soothed, anyone came to your rescue or soothed you or talked to you about emotions in those times, now as an adult you can be that self-soother. So when you do hit conflict in your life, or problem or disappointment, or a feeling that's, you know, a little bit more negative, we tend to withdraw, pull away, and self-soothe, because that's how we've been programmed. That's what we've picked up along the way. And that's been, you know, that's part of my world. I'll very much do that. My friends will tell you, you know, when I've got stuff going on, you just won't hear me. I go underground, I disappear, I sort it, and then I come back. Is that healthy? Probably not. Okay, but neither's the 10 coffees I've had today and the half a box of chocolate, but it helped me get through. And that's what I mean. I forgive myself for that. That's how I work, and that's what I do. And my friends understand me. They don't criticize me, and they don't take it personally. It's not about them and who they are. It's about me and how I need to deal with it. And my friends get that. You know, they don't get offended. I'm going to come straight back, and when I do, but they can call me anytime. I'm going to be there. If they're in trouble, I'm going to be there. Okay, but when it comes to me, I'm not, believe it or not, even though I'm on here every Tuesday night, you know, talking away, I'm not a big sharer when it comes to the big hurts and the disappointments. Let me just catch up on these messages for a second. Yes, family issues. Families, man. Complicated. It's very rare I come across people that don't have family issues. And I don't think once in the 20 years I've been a reader, I come across the perfect family. Nope, I haven't seen the Family Ties, haven't seen the Brady Bunch, haven't seen the Perfect Families, haven't seen it. Not once. I've seen families that work hard to work well, that put the effort in, that are there for each other. But there's always glitches. There's always things going on. Family can be very difficult. You know, it's hard. We love them, but sometimes we just don't like them. Comfort, eat, that's another thing. Yeah, Dee, I think, you know, most people are guilty of that as well. And this brings me back. A self-soother. Yeah, look these things things up. I'm not an expert on this. I'm just someone that reads a lot of shit and follows a lot of stuff, and I'm always stealing bits from everywhere. You know, I don't have one author I follow or one religion or one belief. I take all the little things that I like and I bring it together because that's my recipe and that's what works for me. You don't often talk to me, or you won't hear me talking about a God, but you'll hear me talking about the universe, because then I figure they can all hear me. Like, I don't care who wants to help. Everybody can get on board. I'm not picky. But yes, self-soothing. Guilty as charged. But you know what's interesting is my next quote. And people argue a lot with me about this one, and Katie and Charlotte and a few of the others, especially probably even James and Jen and Tamika. You would have heard me say this before. I have, or should I say, had a very, very dear friend of mine, Mandy Brewer, and she made a huge impact in my life, going back to probably about 2009. She was an incredible human being with incredible kindness and had faced some extraordinary battles in her life. And then later in life, I think it was her late 50s, she decided that she was going to go to university, get a degree, not just a degree, but a bachelor, and move forward to become a psychologist. And although many conversations that I had with Mandy still sit with me, and I often hear her giving me advice, because unfortunately we did lose her a few years ago. One of the things Mandy said to me was a quote, like I said, that stuck with me. And she said, "We do what we value." We do what we value. And most times when I first say that to somebody, they'll argue the point just as I did when I first heard it. I was like, that's rubbish. You know, I'm having to go and do this thing that I don't want to do, and I'm going to have to do that and I don't want it. Or I'll say it to someone and they're like, no, I hate my job and I have to go there every day. And I go, hang on a second. Yes, you dislike your job, but you value the money it brings you. So you do it for the money. We do what we value. Okay, and another good example of that is, and again, please don't think I'm sitting here on my high horse chair, whatever, you know, my soapbox preaching as if I'm perfect. These are lessons I'm still learning and things that I am still having to, you know, face off with and kind of ask myself, you know, what am I doing that? Is that what I'm doing? We do what we value. So if you are single or you're in a relationship, friendship, even family, whatever the relationship is, if you are trying, except with me, because when I go inwards and I self-soothe, I don't tend to communicate very well, and I am guilty of that, and I know it. It ain't going to change, okay? So don't hold your breath. Some things don't change. But with this, it's about going, if they're not messaging you back, you know, if you're single and you're dating and they're not getting in contact, they're not making time for you, don't argue the point. Don't jump up and down. Don't chase them. We do what we value. The person that wants to be with you will. They will turn up. They will text. They will explain. They will communicate. They will be there. But that works the other way as well. That works with ourselves as well. So just for an example, someone might say to me, you know what? I want to go and do a diploma, or I want to go and do a cert certificate, or I want to go to university and I want to study, but I don't have the time. I'm too busy. I am too busy to do it. However, they can find 3 hours a night to play Candy Crush or scroll Instagram or stare at the television. So it's not that they don't have the time. At this point in time, they don't value it enough to do it. Okay, so we do what we value. And I know a few of you are going to want to argue that point with me, and please go ahead. I love a good debate. But it's interesting. So whether it's an addiction, it's weight loss, or anything like that, you know, that we're looking at. Firstly, I don't like talking about weight. It's a very touchy subject. I want you to be comfortable in your skin, whatever that is. I'm not a doctor, and I don't care what people's weight is. I want you to be happy, and I want you to love yourself. And whatever that is, whatever that skin fits, then I want you to have that. Okay? But what this is about is, do we value it enough, or how hard does it have to get for you to change it? You know, and then we come back to that comfortable thing when we're in a comfortable place. Well, I will tomorrow, or I will Monday, or oh no, something happened Monday, so now it's going to be the following Monday. You know, and like we said, I'm guilty at standing at the fridge. I'm not even hungry, man. I'm just either bored or I'm emotional or I just want some dopamine. I'm addicted to sugar. It's you know, my drug of choice. So I understand that and what it feels like. Let me just catch up on these again. Hey, gorgeous. Hey, Robin. 200% love you, Katie. Love you long time. Energy goes where energy flows. Deb, love it. Absolutely, Debbie. That's so true. That's so true. Oh, thanks, Tamika. Sometimes I worry because, you know, I can just start rambling and ranting and just carrying, you know, just keep going. But I've just noticed, especially over the last couple of weeks, not even just because we had Mercury retrograde, that life is really kicking people's asses at the moment. Everyone's mentally and physically absolutely exhausted, you know, and even when the good things are happening, maybe even if they're just small things, we're so tired and exhausted that it's hard to even enjoy it. But, you know, would you believe, like, sometimes I think, you know, we can believe in the negative with all of our soul. Oh, that negative thing is going to happen. Well, how come we can't believe in the positive just as much? And why can we sit in the negative for days and weeks and think about it, but we have a great day or something good happens and it's a fleeting moment and it's gone and we're back to thinking about the negative? Doesn't that suck? That pisses me off. I want to go back to energy goes where energy flows. Hey, Lisa, how you going? Speaking to your soul. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I have more quotes, believe it or not. Just when you thought it was safe, forgive yourself. Oh, but guilt is when we break our own rules. What was the other one that I had here? I had many, and it's interesting. Oh, I came across this. Don't have my glasses on. Hang on a minute. You ready for it? Your life will change for the better, but first have the courage to face the truth. Blech. I want to face the truth, but it's true. Okay, sometimes we've got to face our truths. Why aren't we doing it? Why are we staying in it? Why are we there? And it could be need the money, and that's true. Okay, so we've got to face that. I'm only there for the money, not there for the love. Just there because I don't love the job, but I need the money. So, you know, there's my truth. I need to make money. Okay, so then when we accept that, then it's like, well, then where else can we make it? What else can we do with it? You know, hey, universe, trying to manifest here, bring me in, show me the money, you know, bring it forward. And I think sometimes, too, when we're manifesting, like I've spoken about before, we put all of our manifestation into one thing. I've heard endless time people saying to me, when I win the lotto, or they come to me and they're like, have you got the lotto numbers? Do I look like I got the freaking lotto numbers, man? But it's about going, if you're only giving the universe one way to bring you that money or one way to save your world, when I win lotto, 24 million Australians putting the lotto on tonight, tomorrow night, last night. You know, you got a long queue to get in. That's a long list to wait for. It's more about going, hey, universe, bring me in the opportunities. I'm open to lots of different ways. Bring me in the money. I'm open to lots of different ways. And you may be very surprised how that comes in. One of the stories I have for that, and I think I mentioned it last time, when I decided back in January that, you know, I wanted to go to England, I wanted to do that trip. I didn't have the money at that point to do it. Set my goal amount that I needed outside of obviously all of my home and my children and things like that, and said to the universe, all right, come on, I'm going to work hard, help bring this in. And the little ways that it came in was just incredible. Even just, I happened to pick up a couple of things for $1 at the dump markets, sold them for quite a few $100s just by chance. You know, all these little things. And by the end, I had that money there and was able to go and do that trip. So sometimes I think we've got to open up how it comes in and not niching. It has to be that. You know, it has to be that one job or it has to be this one thing. And it's like, open up to it. Open up to all things coming in. Hey, Robin. Oh, I just had hello to Robin. Tamika. So Tamika's quote that she resonated with yesterday. Oh my God, I love it. The person you want to become will cost you the person you are. Oh, shook. That's true. But you know what? I think it's interesting about that quote as well, and this is something I remind people of quite often. You're not who you were 5 years ago, and you're not who you're going to be in 5 years' time. You know, are you conscious about the person that you are today, where you are today, and the situation that you're in today, and your dreams? What are you dreaming about? Are you still dreaming? Have you stopped dreaming about what could happen next? You know, I still think about what I want to be when I grow up, and I'm 40, and I still think about that. You know, I still dream huge. It's, I guess, part of who I am, and I don't want that to ever leave. But I like that. You got to be willing to let go of a few things. You know, and that things have to change. You know, if food's not going to be that soother for you anymore, it's not going to be that emotional support for you anymore, then you got to let that go. You got to find something else that you love to do, or find other ways or other tools or other ways to deal and combat with that, and you got to let that go. And that doesn't mean you have to let go of food. That means about being, you know, rational about it, and eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full. And, you know, back to that saying, what is it? Eat to live, don't live to eat. And how great it is when you are able to, control that a little more and are able to see results. You know, and not everybody can. Some people have medical things and things going on that make that incredibly difficult. But being able to sit down and then enjoy a meal and not feel guilt, and being able to enjoy it, and being able to enjoy food again, not hate food. You know, it's a bit like that drug addiction. You know, I'm sure nobody wants to become a heroin addict. I don't think anybody wants that. You know, and I don't think anyone when they first start, that's their intention. But that's another subject and another night. But I do love that, Tamika. I do. I love that quote. We should do this every week. Every week I'm going to try and write down the quotes that I see. You know, not all of them, this many for this long, but definitely going to grab a couple if I see one that resonates. I'm not. Thanks, Amy. Hey, Amy. I'm not religious, but I heard from a pastor once. So, I'm not religious, but I heard from a pastor once that when you ask God for something, he doesn't give it to you. He provides you with opportunities to be what you asked for. Example, if you ask for strength, he'll provide opportunities for you to become strong. That's true. I think that's how the universe works. What are your thoughts? I agree. I really do. It's a bit like you're not going to wake up tomorrow with a different uniform in your wardrobe just because you said to the universe, I need another job. You know, it's going to help maybe show you opportunity, or maybe even, you know, you're looking over here and it's like you keep looking in the wrong place. You need to look over here, and we'll help provide that study or that support or this or that, and help you find that time. But I agree. I think too many people are just waiting for the instant change, the gratification. Oh, I'm going to start a diet and I'm going to be 20 kilos lighter in a week. No, you're not. It's a long haul. And for those that don't know me and those that want to criticize me right now, I have had to lose a lot of weight. I know what it's like. 47 kilos, okay? It's not easy. It is hard. It is a lifestyle change for the rest of your freaking life. And it is still a weakness of mine, and I still have to bloody battle it. But I had the universe help me find the motivation to do that, you know. I had to start getting up earlier, and I don't go to the gym. I don't exercise. I don't like to sweat. But I do enjoy walking and starting to take in just some good habits and changing my lifestyle. But tonight's show wasn't about diet and food. It was about being inspired. So yes, Amy, I agree with you. You know, it was the same as like just my example about, you know, really wanting to say for that trip for me, and I know I've banged on about it, that was life-changing. That was something I have spent, and I'm going to get teary, 43 years waiting to do. And it didn't get handed to me. I didn't win a ticket. Someone didn't just walk in and go, here's the money. I worked hard, and I did workshops, and I took opportunities, and everything that came my way, I took it. And that's what got me there. I had to change old habits, and I had to back myself to do it. But do it. Whatever it is that is driving you crazy every single day of your life, change it. Because you will be so thankful that you did. Change the subject. Or my menopause is going to take over, and there are going to be tears everywhere. That's why I got the fan on. It's just warm, and I'm hot, and it's crazy, but that's okay. But yeah, love that. And that's what I mean about religion. Like, people say to me, oh, you mustn't like God. I'm like, God's my friend. I have no problem with God. Like, I have no problem with any God. Anyone that wants to help me, come on down, help me out. I'm never just asking, when I say the universe, I'm asking everything that engulfs. And, whether it's the tree or the gods, I'm like, hey, come and help me, the angels, numbers, numerology, signs. I'm reaching out for all of them, because that's what we need. I love that. Yeah, you also cleared negative energy out to bring good things in. That's true. That's true. I did. I had to. I had to make big changes. I have suffered many times in my life from depression. I suffer from anxiety every day, but have spent many years finding the tools and the ways to, just try and move through it, because it is hard. Like I said, I have absolute empathy for anyone and their mental health, because mental health is tough, man. I as you all know, I've injured my knee recently and, dislocated it, tore the meniscus and whatever, and it's going to take months to heal. But we have a time date, okay? So it's like, yep, it's going to take at least 3 months for this to heal. I'm going to go to physio. I'm going to wear my compression bandage. Everyone has empathy for me at the moment when they see me, like, oh, your poor leg, to how long before it gets better? Oh, well, we're expecting this time limit. Okay, so the physical body, I've had to go, okay, physical injury, I need 3 months to heal. But when we have, disappointment or negative things happen or trauma in our lives, we don't give ourselves 3 months to heal, and physiotherapy and all those things for emotions. How often have you gone, I'm going to get that counselor, I'm going to go and do those things, I'm going to find time to heal. We just, I don't think yet take it as seriously, or we don't show it. People can't sometimes see the broken heart, or the sorrow, or the heart, like the grief that's going on, because a lot of us present really, really well. But we truly do not know what's going on with the person sitting next to you in your office, on the bus, in the train, in the car next to you. Life's complicated. Lives are complicated. And if my job has taught me anything in, the last 20 odd years, is that it's never what you think. And everybody's got something going on. And everyone's hurt, and it may not be to the same degree to you. We only know as much as we've handled, but it's very true. Hey, you want me to turn some cards tonight before I keep getting too deep and meaningful? Just bloody inspired tonight to inspire everybody else. Fired up, can you tell? The Aries and the Leo and the Scorpio rising in me. Standing up and having a bit of a vent, as we all should. Which I would love if we could do some kind of technology where you could all take, turns to speak and say your comments rather than them coming up, because sometimes they take a little longer. Okay, so we have yes for Dee, we have a card for Katie, we have a card for Belinda and James. Really trying to figure out, if anyone knows how to do this, could you please let me know? I want to be able to do the split screen, so that I can have people on the show as well, and I can ask them questions about what it is that they do. If they're a reader, or maybe they're a medium, or maybe they do kinesiology, or they do something in the spiritual world, that I can have them on, and they too can have a chat with us. I can ask them lots of cool questions, because I'm always curious, and they can maybe give out messages as well. I'm just struggling a little bit with how I get this split screen. Technology is not my strong point, but I will try. So we have Lisa, Debbie, Aoife, you're back. Good to see you. How exciting. I know, right? How exciting. Let's have a look. Look at that. It's already 8:15. Hope you all weren't going anywhere too soon. Got me bucket of tea here to keep me going. Oh, numbers have been a bit weird at the moment too, and synchronicities. I'm seeing a lot of those going on, not just in my world. A lot of people going, can't believe, I ran into this person, or the numbers are showing themselves, or the messages that are coming in. Oh, and there was something else that I might move forward to next week, now that we've been here talking about all this inspirational stuff, and we did talk about it before. Debbie made that quote where the energy goes, the energy flows. Did I just say that the right way round? I want to talk about how we can cleanse and protect our energies, because I think it's always important, and we kind of can slide on those things sometimes. I was actually thinking about it today. I was driving home and I was exhausted, and I'd had just some shit things going on, and just people being pains in the asses like they are. And I went, oh my God, I forgot about the idea of, how to cleanse, even when you're getting in the shower, not physically cleanse our body, but cleanse our energetic body, cleansing our home. When was the last time you got your sage out, or your Palo Santo, or your pots and pans and made noise in your home, and intentionally cleared the energy? Get the sage stick out from under the sink where it's been left for a little while, or had your crystals out, or done things, or created that white light bubble, or grounding and things like that, in different ways that we can cleanse our auras and our energies. Because I think when life takes over and we get caught up in all of that, it can be really hard just to remember or get back into the practice of doing it. There's a reason you went there in the first place. There was a reason why you started saging, or you started cleansing your energies, or using spritzers. We talked about them last week, and getting back into those habits again if we have kind of left them behind. And that's what happens. It's a bit like when we've hit a really hard point, we lean on our spirituality and we use the tools that we've got, and then we start to feel a bit better, and we kind of forget about them, and they kind of fall to the side because we're feeling better. And it's not until, we're back in the danger zone that we remember who our gods are, or what is that we needed. And I think even myself, and that's why I say it, is because a realization that I had, that I really need to get back into working with those things, and even forgetting myself to cleanse my energies. All right, D. Katie, Belinda, James, Tamika, Sharon, Amy, Robin, Lisa, Debbie, and Aoife. It is exciting, Katie. Lisa, yes, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 12, 12, and 11, 11. Oh no, 1, 1, 1, sorry. I should really put my glasses on, shouldn't I? I don't even have them down here. Yes. All right, let's have a look, Delia, at your cards. All right. Let's spread them out. Let's see. This one. Ooh. Now, I like when I get the chakra cards, because I can explain the chakras as well. So Delia, the throat chakra card here at the moment. So this is all about speaking your truth. What do you really want? What is it that you really want to say? You're having to bite your tongue at work, or in a relationship, or in some part of your world right now, you're feeling as if you can't speak your truth. This card's saying here, it's time to start opening up to that. Speak your truth. This is a great time if you need to make business deals or job interviews, because you'll find that you can be very charming, you're communicating much better, but opening that throat chakra up right now. Speaking our truth is not that we've been lying. It's about, what do you really want? How do you really feel? But right now, so if you have to make deals or do job interviews or communicate with people, really good time to do it, and also communicating with yourself. But time to really speak that truth. Let that throat chakra open up and balance. But good card. And even, D, you're a great communicator, and you're excellent with your work as well. But just, I guess, like me too, I talk all day to clients, and I come on here and I get to do what I love, and I do the radio show on a Friday. All I can do is talk. That's my superpower. But not about the real deep stuff. I'm not good at sharing that, and I'm not good at letting it out. So that's something that I have to actually work on. So my throat chakra very strong in this setting, but not necessarily on a one-on-one. So yeah, I struggle in relationships to speak my truth. Not so much with friends, but with lovers, I do. I find it really difficult. And that comes from programming and past relationships and all of that. I need to work on it and deal with it. Okay, Katie, let's have a look. Let's spread the cards out. Can't believe these cards are still going. It's been so long. Let's have a look. All right, Katie. Nope. No, right down here. Let's have a look. All right. You still have to love me, Katie, even though this is a little bit of a harder card. obstacles and challenges. However, if I had to split this deck of cards into 50% good and 50% bad, it would be on the bad side, but it would be my least bad card. So this is, at the moment, you're on the right path, you're going the right way, but there's been a little bit of an obstacle here. There's a little bit of a break in the path, and he looks down and he hesitates and he panics and he's very overwhelmed and he feels like he can't make that next step, that it's too big. Actually, he can step over it and he can keep going. He will be supported. So you might find right now there's been a little bit of obstacle come up, like you mentioned here with your work, and it's just overwhelming. And I'm like, it's okay, just take a moment, breathe, and you're going to step over this and you're going to get back on that right path, and we're going to keep going. Third time in a row. I know you don't want it, but keep the faith, Katie. I know you're good at it. Okay? And like we said, we're not where we were 5 years ago. We're not where we're going to be in 5 years' time. And if I went back 5 years, Katie, and I told you the things that you were going to experience in the last 5 years that have just been, that would have surprised you too. You would have been like, Raven, put the crack pipe down. That's not going to happen in my world. So, stranger things have happened. And I think that there is going to be some work coming your way. Actually, I was thinking about you today. Funny enough, I was driving out through Sandgate and out that way. And I was thinking, you're good at making coffee, Katie? Like, as a barista, would you make coffee? There was something about that. I was seeing you in this busy cafe. But you were great because you were loving the customers and the people around you and the teamwork, which I know you would be great with. Okay, Belinda, let's have a look. Belinda, ooh. Strong card. Stand your ground. Easier said than done, okay? Here we are sticking the spear in the ground, all right? And we're saying, that's it, I'm drawing the line. I've had enough. Time to stand up for myself. Enough is enough now. Now, we've got that big sun behind us, so the universe has got your back on this. It's purple, so the third eye is involved here. You could have seen this coming. You are maybe aware that this time was going to come, but right now, stand your ground. It is okay to set barriers and to say no. It is perfectly okay to say no. And that's not good enough, or that's not enough, or I'm not standing for that. No more. No more. Put your spear in the ground. We're not going any further. That's enough now. Hard card. It is, Belinda, but time for it. So know that the universe is trying to back you here, though. Okay, it does have your back there, but stand your ground. Stand up for yourself. You deserve the very best. Okay, James, here's some trouble. It's very interesting, and I know Delia will let me do this because she's a gem. You said, yes, let's go, all of that, yes, but. And advice was given to me once, and they said, only ever listen to what someone says to you after the word but, because that's what the real problem is. And here, but I'm too nice. Sometimes if we're too nice to our own detriment, that's not actually being nice to ourselves. And so there's that situation which we all find ourselves in, it's like, oh, but I'm too nice. And I'm like, so don't be. No, we should always be nice, be who you are, but there has to be that line drawn as well. But I understand it, Dee. I really do. It's hard. It's hard. You want to be a good person. You don't want to hurt people's feelings. And when you're the empath, you can feel their hurt and their disappointment, which makes it even harder. But if it's at loss to yourself sometimes. So, you gotta forgive yourself, because sometimes we've got to be tough. You know what? A really good advice is, in your situation right now, and this is everyone, I'm talking to everyone right now, in your situation right now, what would you tell your best friend to do? Think about that for a second, because we put our friends and our loved ones on much higher pedestals than we put ourselves. All right, sorry, James. You know me, got a bit distracted. Back to you. James, I want this to be really good. Just interesting. I think you need some fun. So let's bring you some fun in. Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm going to bring these up a little bit here. Let's bring the end of the cards in. Okay. All right, let's have a look. James. Well, James, you're going to take me up this way. This one. Ooh. Good card. So, James, you've probably been feeling a little bit buried alive for a little while now. Just the weight of the world on your shoulders. You know, it's been heavy. Been heavy, man. And this is saying here that you're about to break new ground. He's breaking new ground. Now, let's just notice something here. There's only one hand here. There's only one man. You had to dig yourself out. You got to dig yourself out of this hole, okay? But triumph and success. You're going to be able to do this. And you're going to realize that you got the sword. You got the power. Bit of He-Man going on here. But he had to dig himself out first. Ain't nobody digging him out. No one's helping him here. He had to dig himself out here. But new direction. Have faith in yourself, okay? No, that's hard. But here it's like triumph and success. You're going to start seeing some rewards soon. But it was all in the timing. Bit like sword in the stone, okay? So it's saying here that you are going to come out of this. You are going to, dig yourself out. And realize that you have the sword. And once you've dug yourself out, you realize no one can bury you because you can just keep digging yourself out and moving forward. One, new direction, blue, speak your truth, okay? Be proud of yourself. Sometimes you got to be your own best cheerleader, you know? It's hard. But that's a good card, James. Well done. I wanted a good card for you, and that's a good card. That's some success. Tamika, let's have a look. All right. Let's spread the cards out. And really, let's dig through this one. Ooh, Tamika, the shadow card. So you've been sitting here maybe in some hibernation, been sitting in the dark, just been waiting to see what might happen next, maybe working on self, maybe we had to work on our health, but just been in that hibernation, all right? And we're about to step into the light. The universe is going to shine the light on things. It's going to show you things. It's going to, maybe show you a situation you weren't aware of or show you some success. It's going to turn the light on. That's a really good thing. So stepping out of the dark and into the light. So maybe even a new phase in life or new things going on. And once we pass the baton, we don't pass it back, okay? So it's like this definite coming across, but everything coming to light now. So if you have been feeling like you've been a bit in the dark with a few things, here it is coming out. Or maybe you've been, kind of holding away a little bit, working on yourself, working on, family or whatever it is that you've got going on around you. And you're like, you know what, I'm ready to come out into the world again now. Or universe, I'm ready to see now what maybe I didn't want to see before. But a good card coming out of the shadows and into the light. So love that for you. And do remember that maybe you haven't put your name down for a card tonight, or maybe we don't get to you. You will find as the cards come through, you'll be like, you know what, that's a message I can take as well. That's something that I can work with as well. All right, Sharon. You're very welcome, James. Oh, look, Robin has something here. Use and instead of but and. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. But cancels out everything said before. Yeah, that was how the wording was kind of said to me. Or when you're listening to a friend sort of say, the job's amazing and, that it's an easy drive in and the parking's great and but the boss is an ass and the money's shit. You're like, there's the problem. There's the problem. And maybe having to deal with that. So, Sharon, let's have a look. I love when you all share. You gonna run away to Tahiti? Okay, go. Send me a postcard. I want a postcard, Katie. I'll find you. All right, let's have a look, Sharon. Let's pick you a card. Let's have a look. Where am I going, Sharon? Oh, here. The fertility card. That's it, Sharon. You're having a baby. No. This one here is the fertility card. So the birth of something new. It's time to get your head and heart on the same page. You can see her heart chakra there glowing. 3, the number of creation. All these new shoots. For this case, a bit like I Am Woman, hear me roar, but getting head and heart on the same page, that conflict, that battle not going on anymore. And a new beginning could be the beginning of a new 7-year cycle for you, but stepping into a new stage or just new beginnings. We love this. The fertility card, the birth of something new. So expect new beginnings or new starts or a new cycle around you very soon, and it should help put that head and heart on the same page. All right, Amy. Let's have a look. All right. Okay, Amy. Oh, you're going to have me digging down here. There's something in here. Ooh. The heart chakra card, Amy. So there could be love around you at the moment. We are opening up the heart chakra. We're starting to love life and the things around us, or we've decided to love life. This is about self-love. This is about unconditional love. This is about empathy. It could be opening our heart, like I said, to a relationship. But we've got a blessing there coming through, but the heart chakra. So like I said, a couple little different things here with the heart chakra. It could be that you're choosing self-love and to love yourself, or, you've found hobbies that you love, or sort of that love for life. But I think for you, I want to lean more towards maybe there is a relationship coming in here, or you've decided to open your heart to new people to come in, because this is a really good card. I love the heart chakra card, but balance coming in here, and lots of love. So maybe some romance about either with yourself or with somebody else. All right, Robin, let's have a look. Let's have a look, Robin. Do-do-do. Because I wanna. Amy. Why are you asking? I just do. Often when I see the heart chakra card, it'll be, I can just kind of feel the energy, and I'm like, oh, this person really needs that self-love, or this person really needs to, this is about work and passions. But as soon as I turned it, I kind of got that cheeky grin, and I was like, this feels like opening your heart to relationship love, or someone coming in. So you better keep me posted. You're very welcome. Thank you, Raven. You're very welcome. All right, Robin. Let's have a look. Oh, they're a bit jumpy tonight. Cards, or maybe it's not the cards. Maybe it's me. All right, Robin. Let's put these out. So I spread the cards out every time. I don't look when I'm choosing a card. That's why you can see me looking away. I really just go, my hand starts to get like really kind of tingly, quite kind of warm, and I kind of know then that's, like now as I go up here, not really feeling too much for you, Robin, but coming back down. Here, it's in here. Okay. I don't choose them, Robin, promise. Emotional loss. Now this is green again because it's around the heart card, very different to Amy that we just read for, okay? This one here is saying that there's possibly a situation or a person in your life that you have given heart energy to, and you have given it out to them, and you have given it out to them. But you're realizing now that it's just a loss. Like sometimes there's friends or people in our worlds where, we're being there for them, and we're giving them all of our energy, and it's just not being returned. It's just not coming back. And maybe they're taking you for granted, or a situation where you're like, I threw myself into that, but it's really bringing me nothing back. What he does at this point is he puts his hand over his heart, and he decides that instead of losing that emotion out to something else, he's going to give it to himself. And he's going to love himself, and he's going to do that self-care, and he's going to look after him instead of hemorrhaging that emotion out continually to something that doesn't deserve it, or somebody. So it's time to maybe a bit like that card with Belinda, that stand your ground. It's a bit like drawing that line and going, you know what, I can't do that anymore. I can't give that anymore. And, I've had to do that with relationships, friendships. We don't like it, but you have to go, this is just, I've got to save myself now and look after me, and move forward. So is it more emotional loss coming in? No, this is about stopping the bleeding and starting to heal and looking after self. So we're on the other side of it, if that makes sense. Again, is it a good card? Well, it is, because you're going to choose you, and you're going to choose healing, and you're going to choose to bring that energy inwards, and that's what you need to do. That's helpful, Robin. I really do. All right, Lisa, and then we got Debbie, and then we got Aoife. Let's have a look, Miss Lisa. Ooh. Let's spread the cards out. Oh, look at this little division here. I kind of like that. Actually, you bring me up this way, but not quite to that one. I'm gonna go in. Oh, we'll take this one too. Passion ignited. I love this card, okay? Because I want to feel how she looks, all right? 1, new direction. This is about, we got to bring the passion and the fires back into your heart and back into your belly. This is about passion ignited. Ooh, that fire, you know, whether that's in a relationship or work or hobbies or things that we love to do. But you may have found for a little while here, life's been a bit like, you know, like just kind of, not flatlining, but just been a bit, not a great deal of excitement going on. Here, it's about passion ignited, those passions coming in, starting to love what we're doing again. V in our neck here. She's got that wonderful V, victory. She's speaking her truth. Okay, so good card. Some passion coming your way, but it will bring a new direction as well. And we could have been waiting a little while because we're completing something here. That's that circle there as well. But we want to feel how she looks. Okay, we want some passion in our lives. It's coming back, and it's going to come back strong. It is purple because there is a chance that you could have seen this coming. You know, this is the third eye chakra, that purple border. So maybe seeing this come your way. Oh, good. Thanks, Robin. Spot on. In the process of releasing a lot at the moment. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, no, and just got to let it go. Let it self-preservation. Got to let it go. But Lisa, we all going to want to know what this is. Okay, there's a passion coming in. So if you are feeling a bit bored and discontent with your world at the moment, don't worry. Those fires in those belly is going to come back. Those passions are going to come back, and you're going to be feeling like this lovely lady just here before you know it. It's been self-imposed. True. Sometimes we gotta. It's a bit like sex, you know. Like sex is really important, and it's something that I encourage people to do. Whether it's, you know, sex with someone else or sex with yourself, because sometimes that's the only option you got. But it's important. Sex is important, and it's part of our world, and I think that we need to embrace it a little bit more. Like I said, we ain't always got somebody else. Sometimes it's with yourself, but you know, use it or lose it. The more sugar you have, the more sugar you want. And that's another conversation for another night. Debbie, let's have a look. Lisa will love this. Lisa, you're having red apples or green apples, honey? All right, Debbie, let's have a look at your card. Let's spread them out. Deb, I do hope you're well. I see your little car around every now and then. And your sunsets. All right, let's have a look. Debbie. Oh my God, I was just about to hum the American, is it their national anthem? Da, 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 da. And yeah, I was. So I don't know if there's something about America around you, or someone's going to America, or someone's, but yeah, I was just about to hum it. Wow, that was a bit interesting. Sorry, Deb. Let's go back to picking your card. Here. Robin, sex, what's that? See, you got to find that again. It's important. And like I said, not always someone else involved, but you got to do it. Oh, hang on. You can't see me. This card is the one that has come up here for you, Debbie. Fertility card. Again, we've already had this one tonight. I love this card. Head and heart on the same page. The birth of something new. That heart chakra growing and glowing now. 3, the number of creation, so maybe starting a new cycle, the birth of something new with work or a relationship or a hobby. But it is exciting times, fertility, or there could be a pregnancy around you. But also here, like I said, the birth of something new. So exciting times. And Debbie, you deserve that. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Ifa. Hello, Miss Rachel. Yes, Raven is back. Yes, I'll be here. Thanks, Rachel. Yes, yes. All right, let's have a look for Ifa. And then, of course, once I have turned this card, I will do a group one for everybody for the week. And again, if you have, you know, maybe it's a metaphysical question, I do need to get back to Emily about her one because she's not here tonight, I don't think, and about spirit animals. We're going to do a night on that. I'm actually trying to get someone on board to come in and have a chat with me, just trying to, again, figure out the technology. But maybe you have a question about numbers or a question about crystals or cards or auras or anything metaphysical, anything anything spiritual like that, you can send those questions to askravencooper@gmail.com, or through the Threefold Facebook page, or the Raven Cooper Facebook, or the YouTube, however you're seeing or communicating tonight. You can send those questions through there, and I will try definitely to answer them the following week. I will let you know when I'm going to be able to answer it, but please don't send me emails just saying, oh, can you turn me a card next week? I turn cards for people that turn up on the night, that are here. You know, you guys are here week in, week out, so I'll create the list on the night. I won't take pre-bookings for card turnings. Oh, you can't see anyone else talking? Gemlock, why is that? You can't see the messages anywhere? Well, that's a bit unusual. I will check that out. And hello to you too. Hello to you too. All right, Aoife, here is your card. And then, like I said, we're going to do a group reading for everybody. One card for everyone. Oh, you had a new baby girl in the family. Oh, that's cute. I love when other people are having babies. It's great. It's great. I don't want any, but, you know, I love my kids dearly. But I want to travel. Okay, Eva, sorry, I'm getting distracted tonight. Just having way too much fun. Let's have a look. Okay. Let's have a check here for you, Eva. No, I'm going right down here. Not maybe the second last. Where's that one? Okay. Ooh, money card. And just before I read this, Gemlock, I will check that out. I will try and find out why none of the other comments are coming through and try and fix that for next week. Like I said, technology is not my strong point, but I will give it a crack. So, Aoife, here is your card. Red, base chakra, home, work, money, security. Okay, all those things that make us feel safe and secure and that we need in this material world that we live in. It's saying here, great time to see a financial advisor or to get a new financial plan or to be saving for something long term. Patience and planning. You're going to build something very strong here. You're on a good wicket. You've got this right, but just like the columns, you know, just like the Colosseum, you know, it wasn't built in a day, but it is still standing. This is it. It's like, just keep going. Patience and planning. This is going to work out. So whether it's, you know, that money that's around or security or a home, just keep working with it because it's going to do well. Okay? Excellent. All right, now we're going to do one more card for the rest of the week. Oh, Gem, look, it's not coming through. That's a shame. If you come on in next week, I'm not in the feed, not in the actual chat. Very strange indeed. It is strange. We can't really blame Mercury Retrograde too much now because that ended on Sunday, but I definitely will look into it. And if you jump on again next week, I will turn a card for you then. We are running a little bit over tonight. So a group card for everyone to take into the next week. Have a good week. Try and remember a few things that we talked about tonight. Forgive yourself. You know, maybe choose change before you have to change. We do what we value, and there's been a lot of comments here and quotes put in the comments tonight that I've loved as well. So let's stay inspired as much as we can. And self-care. Look after yourself. Okay? Or Robin, give yourself a little bit of loving. Late night loving. Why not? Why not? Don't worry, you don't go blind. Maybe why I need glasses, but you won't go blind. All right, let's have a look for the week. You're very welcome, Aoife. Let's have a look. All right. Okay. A message for the week. No, up here. Oh, it's like here. This one. It's just... Could have done better. No, this is a good card. Okay, the waiting game. So our message for this week is we've all been cutting the same laps for a little while now. We've all been kind of maybe going around in circles, feeling like we're just chasing our tail, and time has felt like it's been slipping away from us. It's like it's just running through our fingers. But here, the waiting game is actually going to start to cease. It's going to end. And we can see this tree growing here. We're going to start growing things with our time. It could have been because we needed to make a decision. We got that number 2 there. It's purple helpful because we kind of could see it. We can been seeing ourselves kind of go around in circles, been maybe in a holding pen for a little while, just kind of, kind of stuck. And now that change is coming in. So the waiting game is over. We're going to finally see some movement and things around our world. But it's been a long time coming here. Like I said before, sometimes we get stuck in those ruts and those patterns, or we're sort of waiting for things to play out a bit. Maybe you've invested in something, maybe you've been studying, and you've been doing all that hard work, and now we're going to start maybe seeing the results. But the waiting game is over. So maybe you've been waiting to hear for an answer or some results, or even to make the decision. There's that too. You're going to finally find those answers. So good luck with that. I hope that was helpful. As always, I came in tonight a bit sideways. Bit of a hot mess, wasn't really organised, came in late. The gremlins were about with technology, but I will be wrapping this up in a fantastic mood. You guys always lift my energy, and I hope you guys get some of that as well. Be good, be kind, be careful, look after yourselves, and get a good night's sleep. That's always helpful too. So until next Tuesday at 7:30, see you next Tuesday.